Welcome, everyone. I'm James Anderson, and tonight I will be partaking in my very first NFBC auction. It's going to get going here in about 40 seconds. I know it seems like there's lots of fun stuff happening tonight. I know the labor draft is going on too. So thanks for everyone who stops by and checks this out. I have there's a couple people in this auction that I've drafted with before. This is Zach Waxman's ninth auction. Greg Blankenship. I haven't done a ton of prep in terms of dollar values, just because I kind of want to get a feel for things as they're happening in real time here. Got our first nomination, Eloy Jimenez for 16. His average dollar value is 20. Gonna sit this one out. I love Eloy. I love the idea of a healthy season from Eloy, but just a little too expensive, I think, for the downside and the caliber player that's. All right, we got Julio Rodriguez, 46 right now. All right, I nominated Matt Olson for 10. I'll nominate guys for a variety of different reasons, but not really interested in Olson. I think Rob Silver and I both compared Rowdy Tellez to Matt Olson on separate podcasts within like a 24-hour span last week. Here we go. Here's the number one player, Ronald Acuna. Julio went for 46. I'll go 46 on Acuna. And will I go 48? I'll hang back at 48. Tatis. I get it with Tatis, but it's just a little too much risk. Ooh, I like Castellanos. I actually just took Castellanos earlier today in a Draft Champions League. He's a really nice consolation prize in snake drafts if you miss out on like Anthony Santander / Taylor Ward. I think you get the same stats from Casty. All right, he's a couple dollars over his AAV. And Castellanos is actually a really good example of why I just don't really want to go there with Eloy at his price this year. That's a good buy. I like that. $15 for Castellanos. Aaron Judge. Got my very first Aaron Judge share of the year in Tout Wars Draft and Hold, which is OBP. I had the second overall pick. His AAV on NFBC is 44. All right, so Acuna goes 47, Julio 46, Judge 43. The good auction players are usually bidding on a bunch of players, not just the players that they're interested in. But this is my first time in one of these rooms, so I'm going to kind of be a bit more conservative. And this is kind of a practice run for me with AL Labor auction happening in just under 2 weeks. Love Seiya Suzuki. Go to 20 on him. All right, I got Suzuki for $2 over his AAV. This is definitely going to be a get my guys auction. Strider up to 35. All right, we got Edwin Diaz already up to 33. Attacking closers, I think, is kind of the biggest difference, at least in my mind, with an auction versus snake draft, because you're not going to miss out on a closer run. You might have to overpay, but you don't have to worry about getting shut out because you will have the option to buy one. I'll be hands off with DeGrom this year. Strider went for 35. DeGrom's at 29. And we got Corbin Burns. I bet he goes for like 37. And I am team 3 for everyone watching. I have Seiya Suzuki. Just love the 5 category potential that Suzuki has, and obviously the playing time's great. He'll be hitting second or third all year. Could go 20 on Romano. All right, and someone pushed to 21. I'll go 22 on Romano. Did not get Romano for 22. He goes for 23. I don't really mind if I overpay by a couple bucks on my first closer, just to kind of get it taken care of. But 23 was just a bit too much on Romano. Jose Ramirez up at 43 right now. That was $2 under his average auction value. All right, Kyle Tucker, here we go. AV is 41, which is a very fair number. I'll get in at 40. I'm guessing he'll go 42 maybe. Do I want him at 42? I can go 42. Someone comes in at 43. All right, I'll sit out on Tucker now. I like the idea of maybe getting one of those sort of second tier first rounders. So Julio goes for 46, Acuna 47, Tucker 43. Could have maybe gotten to 44 on Tucker. And I nominated Cedric Mullins, who I don't want. No idea why anyone would want Mullins over Corbin Carroll, for instance, but maybe Corbin Carroll goes for more than 24. Boba I'll be in on this. All right. So now I got Boba and Seiya Suzuki. Very, very okay with that. So Carlos Rodon, Corbin Burns went for 37. Well, 30. I might end up regretting not going 33 there on Rodon. I don't really like buying players back to back. Feels kind of hasty and like kind of getting a chance to catch my breath, but yeah, I don't know. 32 is fine. Real Muto goes for 25. I've taken Real Muto in 2 drafts that I'm currently still in right now. Tout Wars Draft and Hold and Draft Champions. Did not go 3 for 3, but yeah, 25. It's pretty good. As I said at the top, I'm kind of winging it here. Obviously, know what I think about every player, but this is again, this is my first NFBC auction. Interested to kind of see how it goes, but I've kind of got an idea of sort of what I want to do at different positions. And with all right, so we're gonna have Trey Turner as the most expensive player in this auction at $50. Acuna went for 47. Julio went for 46. And again, I'm picking from the third spot, Boba and Seiya Suzuki so far. Love Freddie Freeman. I do have the power in an auction to pay for a Blue Jays stack if I want to get Vlad. This is a pretty good price on Freeman, though. All right, I bid 33. He goes 34. I'm okay there. And he's up to 35. So Freeman goes for 36 now. What do we think Vlad's going to go for? His AAV's 37. And we got Bobby Witt. I kind of like Boba as much as Bobby Witt this year. Just way better lineup, better average. Witt's got a higher power and speed ceiling, but I think juxtaposing Witt's power speed ceiling with Bichette's safety and upside to kind of build on the way he sort of finished last year, I think they're about the same. All right, Clase, top closer. Edwin Diaz went for 33. All right, I'm kind of in on this. Do I go 34? I think I do go 34 here, but that's probably it. All right, I'll let him have him for 35. Love Edwin Diaz and Emmanuel Clase. And they go for 35 and 36. And Romano only went for 23. So I think in hindsight, I'm kind of wishing I'd gotten to 24 in Romano. And of course, we got Hader, so sort of a closer run. This is the last of the top 4 closers. And I think he and Romano are kind of interchangeable for me in the 3rd spot. He's going to blow past the 23 Romano went for. Of course. All right. People keep bidding me up on Hader. Gosh, counted down a couple times there. Screw it. I'll go 28. All right. Thank you. All right. So I got Bo Bichette, Seiya Suzuki, Josh Hader. And we got Devin Williams up 23. Yeah, man, that Romano for 23. Ugh. Wish I could go back and bid up there. Williams goes for the same price as Romano. So it seems like everyone is basically wanting to see if they got their closer one. Iglesias is the guy that's being bid on right now. He's already up to 23 as well. 24. So Romano goes for the same price as Devin Williams, less than Iglesias, $4 less than Hader. And this is a fab league. I don't mind if Hader is my only kind of lockdown guy here. 15-team fab league. That's a good buy on Luis Castillo. I have I've kind of like bottom 3rd money right now. If I'd bought Castillo, I'd have the 2nd lowest budget. I like O'Neal Cruz, but he does not fit after I got Bo Bichette. Got Jordan Alvarez creeping up into the high 30s here. All right, now we got here's the guy. Here he is. Would be pretty fun to pair Vlad with Bo Bichette. All right, I'm the 37 there, and now I'm the. All right, I am out on Vlad. They weren't going to let me get that stack in. That's fine. Threw out Javier just to kind of see. I think I saw he went in like the second round of a recent draft, which is crazy to me. So after all those closers got nominated, the next best closer by ADP is you got Ryan Presley and Ryan Helsley and Felix Bautista. Garrett Cole, he's my SP1, but he doesn't really fit into this, or at least what I'm trying to do here. Much more likely to end up with Garrett Cole in a snake draft than in an auction. Just because there's a cluster of starting pitchers I really love that go cheaper than him, and I know I can get them in an auction, but you never know what you're going to get in a snake draft. Sal Perez. He's just the second catcher off the board, I believe. Yeah. JT went 25. That actually, in hindsight, the JT for 25 and the Jordan Romano for 23 seem like the best buys here. Neither of which are on my team, of course. Yeah, someone in the comments, Scott, said 33 for Diaz. Yeah, that is a lot. That's how much he went for. I love Juan Soto in OBP leagues especially, but I think the power speed is just a little light. for where he goes. In batting average. So I think the one thing I generally do in snake drafts is pay up at catcher because I don't want to. I mean, I just love the best catchers, and I don't want to get shut out on that sort of next group. Sometimes there's a run. I think my plan in this is to buy a couple of the guys from that second tier, since I have the ability to get whoever I want in an auction. Got a Bryce Harper nom. Someone waited around. Oh man, now he's up to 9. I got Bryce Harper in the first draft I did back in August with Rob DiPietro, the very first NFBC draft of the year, and that's enough exposure for me because I got him before the news about the injury, or the surgery, I should say. All right, Stevenson. This is a huge fade for me. I mean, if he gets one more concussion, he might miss just the rest of that entire season. Man. Oh, okay. He was using. So I know there's some cool features on the NFBC auction room. That was the set max bid feature where you can say like I will keep going up, so that way you can't get jumped over the price point that you wanted. And so I kept bidding on Manny Machado there. It's a really cool feature. I mean, it's a feature I wish was in every auction room. But I kept bidding on Manny Machado, and it kept telling me that I didn't have him, and that's because that manager had that feature working. I gotta say, I'm not surprised, but this NFBC draft room or auction room is pretty great. Everything's kind of where you expect it to be. And we got a Brian De La Cruz nom in the 3rd round of nominations. Franco goes for 19. We got another instance of the max bid. The max bid strikes again. Oh man. Really wanted Austin Riley, but somebody else did too. Huh. I tried to put in a $35 max bid on Austin Riley, and by the time I had entered it in, his price was already up to 35. So, all right. Tried out the max bid feature on JD Martinez here. Let's see if this works. Someone blew past my max bid. I'll go 12, whatever. I think we had some notes go up on the site today, but the Dodgers are being very open about the idea that JD Martinez is going to be the everyday DH, which is awesome for JD Martinez, who I think is going to have a really good year with the Dodgers, but Will Smith, who I also love, the only way he's going to play as much as he did last year is if he plays an extra 20 games at catcher, which I think he could do, but might not do. So I've got a decent amount of Will Smith shares, and I'm probably going to stop drafting him now, unless his price drops as a result of those notes. And I got my first catcher in William Contreras. That was more than I was hoping to have to pay on him at 16, but I mean, I would have William Contreras on all my teams if it were possible. Just think he's such a good way to get the stats you want from a lot of the catchers who go ahead of him. But it's tough in snake drafts because there's a good chance you just don't get him, right? So you can't really go into a snake draft with the William Contreras plan. I got my first Tyler Glasnow share a couple days ago in that draft and hold. Someone wanted to know what Bryce Harper went for. He went for 9. There we got the older Contreras up. Wouldn't be against the Contreras stack. All right, I got my Contreras stack. I'm the Contreras team. So I think my big problem at this point is going to be starting pitching. $28 on Nola. Could have gotten in there, but might be shopping a bit cheaper for my SP1. So Adley goes for 16, which makes my two Contreras buys look. I don't know. I think Adley at 16 is a good buy. William Contreras at 16 probably an overpay relative to the market. Got Varsho here going up into the mid 20s, which makes sense. We got Helsley into the 20s now. Again, making that Jordan Romano for 23 looking really good. Yeah, so you got Helsley and Devin Williams. Well, Helsley goes for 24 now. Devin Williams for 23. Iglesias 24, and Helsley now 24. So, I mean, you weren't getting any of the closers for less than 23. Any of the sort of legit closers. Kenley is a tough one because nobody questions his job security, but the Red Sox are sort of in that in that realm as a franchise now where everything they touch, I just am worried about it. And Kenley's not going to last forever. He, as I noted in the relief pitching prospect article that went up on rotowire.com, rotowire.com/try for a trial. But in that relief pitching prospect article that went up, I noted that Kenley Jansen leads the majors in saves of the last 5 years, which is great. But also kind of we know that the end is kind of near with him. And he's already working in camp to adjust to the new pitch clock. And he is probably the guy of the sort of true closers. He's the guy who's got the slowest tempo. So, there's a time and a place in a snake draft, especially where you might have to take Kenley if you want to just make sure you have a closer. But in an auction, you don't have to worry about taking someone that you're uncomfortable with like that. I think the thing that I'm kind of most oblivious to is sort of how things are going to work here with not just your average player with a low AAV, but kind of the guys that I want who have low AAVs. How much are they going to go for? Because that's going to be an important thing for me in a bit here. And we got Felix Bautista pushing up to 19. People aren't that worried about his knee and shoulder thing. He said he wasn't that worried about it today, I believe. So that's great. I love that Felix Bautista is maybe okay, but I've also got a lot of Felix Bautista, so I don't. If you've got a bunch of a pitcher and they're dealing with the shoulder thing and they say it's going to be okay, I don't think that necessarily means you just keep drafting that pitcher. So it just will be my starting pitching. That'll be probably my weakness, and that's fine. I kind of figured that would be the case. And the reason I am comfortable playing that way is I think I know which pitchers to go after, and have had success getting value on the starting pitching side. That's probably probably the position I'm best at in terms of getting value in the draft. So you got to play to your strengths. So you got, the Aaron Nola for 28 is looking pretty good with Woodruff up to 29. Now you got Woodruff up to 31. It makes the Nola 28 look even better. The Luis Castillo, what was that? Luis Castillo was a good buy too. I think that was 24. I basically, I can't really be that in on the best remaining hitters, just given my lack of starting pitching. So, got to be a little disciplined. I'll bid on Sandy. All right, so someone's got their max bid set on Sandy. Gonna keep pushing it up. This is my first Sandy share. All right. I can live with that. 29. Woodruff went 31. Would I have preferred Noel at 28 over Sandy at 29? Sandy and Nola, it's pretty close for me. So we got a comment here from Jacob saying that the auctions he's done so far, teams have either been mainly stacked with hitting or stacked with starting pitching. Not as much balance on teams drafted this year. I mean, you got to have balance, right? I know Rob DiPietro is telling me kind of a 60-40 hitter-pitcher split is the norm in these auctions. And there's been some really good pods this offseason on kind of auction strategy. Zach Waxman had a good one, and Rob DiPietro had a good one recently as well. I've been so heavily focused on snake drafts in the past few years, especially that auction is definitely not something I would. I'm new to competing with this caliber of drafter in a online auction. Obviously, the AL labor auction is really stiff competition, but it's a only league. You kind of know the tendencies of a lot of the players. So I don't really know the tendencies of any of the players in this room. I don't know who like 12 of them are. So that makes it just kind of a more uncharted territory. But this is I couldn't sit out the NFBC auction format another off season. I had to get in at least one this year and just kind of get my feet wet, and maybe in the coming years I'll do even more. I'd love to do one of the live auctions out in Las Vegas. But I think I'm at least a year away from feeling like I'm ready for that type of challenge. Got Daniel Bard going for 12. I mean that kind of it's kind of representative of how big that sort of cliff is from the uh, Helsley, Presley, Bautista types to the Daniel Bard at $12. We all know Bard has the job, but um, you can't feel confident you're getting the elite closer ratios you're getting from these other guys. Jazz for 28. I had a lot of exposure to Jazz last year, and I don't think I have them anywhere this year. It's kind of a testament to how good he was last year and he was healthy that he missed half a season and uh, is going higher, going significantly higher this year than he was last year with elevated injury risk, just because he's got more people believe in him than they did last year. But I've I've always believed in him talent wise, but I've never been more worried about his ability to handle a full major league season. So it's a really tough call with Jazz because he's so good. I like he's borderline, you know, top 20-ish player if you're getting a full season from him. But I'm just worried about his ability to hold up. But I would be bummed if I went the whole draft season without at least having a little bit of Jazz. You can probably hear Baldwin barking in the background. Cal Raleigh at 11. I mean, that's fine. I'm not a Cal Raleigh guy, but the way that people talk about him, I thought he might even go for more than that in this auction. Michael Harris is really tough. I think it's kind of unfortunate that his ADP sort of settled where it did because it just makes, it probably settled a little too high. And so now you just have a bunch of people pointing to reasons why, he's going too high. And he is going too high, I think, but he's really good. And he's, I just, like, I think I would probably take Corbin Carroll over him straight up. I think Harris and Arozarena are about the same. So it's just I think he should have been going back there. But then the group thing kind of just if you start going in the top 30 of the first 15 drafts, there's a pretty good chance you're just going to stay there all draft season. Should I get another home share? All right, got my closers. Josh Hader, Clay Holmes, and I have the third lowest budget remaining of 15 teams. It's really no surprise to me that in my first auction I spent up at catcher and at closer. And now I've just got to be bargain hunting, really. So I've got $72 remaining. The person with the most has 136. Got a 119. A couple others just barely over 100. You want to kind of be in the mix with everyone. You don't want to be way below everyone in terms of option budget remaining at this point. And I think I'm okay. I'm more towards the bottom than the top, but um, $31 on Lindor. Based on the free agent pool, or the pool that hasn't been nominated yet, Luis Robert, Ozzie Albies, George Springer are the top rated hitters. So Lindor was definitely the top hitter left there at 31. That still seems just kind of the way the draft is sort of trending. You know, you had Arenado 27, Seager 24. I was a little surprised that Lindor went up over 30 there. Best pitchers remaining by AAV: Shane Bieber, Alek Manoah, Zach Gallen. I could see myself trying to get one of them. Scott wanted to know in the chat how many ABs I think Royce Lewis gets this year. I don't have a number, but I would think he's playing pretty regularly in the second half of the season. I don't think he's. I think rehab assignment and everything. I think that probably occupies the full first half of the big league season, and then he's hopefully ready to rejoin the big league club in the second half. And I think they'll give him probably 5 starts a week if he's playing well. But I mean, you never know if how well the knee holds up if he's playing pretty regularly for 10 plus weeks in the majors. But yeah, I think if you're drafting Royce Lewis, you're kind of hoping that he's the everyday shortstop for the final 10, 11 weeks of the MLB season. So not a I love Royce Lewis, but it's more of a dynasty love than a draft and hold love, just because there's you're not getting a half season out of Royce Lewis. I don't think you're getting a little less than a half season. Almost got in on Gallon there. Bieber and Manoah are still out there. I might not be able to afford quite that good of an SP2. Gallon at 22 is a good purchase, but probably looking at the sort of Mariners guys, Yankees guys. And in the comments, Jacob wanted to know in a head-to-head Roto Daily League with save plus holds as a category, how much are you downgrading the cost of closers in an auction? It's I think it's pretty. I mean, I think you're more so sort of valuing all the relievers together, and those top like Emmanuel Clase and Edwin Diaz and Josh Hader and those guys are just dominant. They're giving you the ratios, they're giving you the strikeouts, they're giving you the saves. They're still, elite in a saves plus hold league because they're giving you everything you want. But you're really downgrading the sort of mid tier closer and bottom 10 closers. Like you just would rather have the good setup guys than those. Love Brian Reynolds, but might be priced out here. All right. Corbin Carroll. All right, I did it 24 on Carroll. That's the end of the road for me on that specific bid, but I'm very fine with that price on Carroll. And I needed, I had Bichette for steals, probably getting 10 steals from say Suzuki, but Carroll's now my best source of speed. And obviously there's a lot of great things about having William Contreras and Wilson Contreras, but not hurting for power right now. Question is, what's the price going to be on Alek Manoah and Ale Labor in a couple weekends? So I still need 14 players. Got $49 left, so a little under $4 per player. And I have no idea how this is going to go. I could see myself really liking my team in about an hour, or I could see myself really really donating. All right, so we got a quick break here. I want to share. Let's see. I want to share the Fantrax draft and hold. Or this is the Tout Wars draft and hold league. I am picking second here. Aaron Judge, Manuel Clase, JT Realmuto. And the most brutal part of this is that I'm picking right, like I'm trapped by Vlad Sedler, who's picking third. And Vlad has made he's made a habit of sniping me all the time in this Tout Wars draft and hold league. And so now every time a player that shouldn't be falling is falling and he's coming back to that turn, Vlad is going to just be the gatekeeper. And he hasn't sniped me yet, but it's going to start happening. But I really love, I think there's a case for taking like Will Smith over JTR in a standalone OBP league, but when I had Judge already, that monster OBP force, felt like JTR was the better pairing there because of the speed and he just really complements Judge, the categories he's bringing very well. And draft and hold, picking at the turn, wanted to get a closer there just to kind of not have to sweat out. There's just going to be mega runs here and didn't really want to have to get left in the cold there. But this is a this is really a great start. I did want Acuna in that second overall spot just for the speed, but I think the way things are kind of turning out here, I think that's fine. And the goal will be to finish uh, mid pack in speed, right? And then if you're doing really well in the other four offensive categories and you're mid pack in speed, you're probably winning offense in your league. And so you need to be kind of 80th percentile plus in speed to win a overall contest. But in a standalone league, just being 50th percentile in speed is just fine. Yeah, that I did. I was torn between JTR and Jose Altuve there, and of course Vlad just took Altuve right after that. I think Altuve's kind of become my favorite second baseman of that kind of big four. All right, we are back in business. Shane Bieber is the guy right now. He's out of my price range. Can't quite bring myself to get in on Nathaniel Lowe, just because Lowe just went for 16. I just really want 30 plus homers from my starting first baseman. And if I compare Nathaniel Lowe, and I'm sure this is going to be blasphemy to people that love Nathaniel Lowe, but I think Lowe versus like Josh Naylor isn't that far off to me. Neither of them are going to hit 30 homers, but they should be pretty good at everything else. I mean, Lowe has more track record in terms of hitting for a high average, but I could see them both hitting around 275. So I would just rather in snake drafts certainly rather try to get a Christian Walker or Rowdy Tellez a couple rounds after Lowe's ADP, but if you miss out on like Walker or Tellez, like I'm okay with Josh Naylor being my first baseman, but jumping for Lowe when that sort of last group of SP2 caliber guys and Clay Holmes closer types, catchers are going off the board. I'm just never there for Lowe. Matty Wood did a pretty good sell job on George Springer on the FTN pod last week. 22, I think, is totally fine. So I'm at $49 remaining, or $62 remaining, I should say. And looks like that's maybe close to mid-pack. You got people going stars and scrubs, and then you got people just hoarding their cash and making sure they have the hammer. I don't even know. Did I go stars and scrubs? I might have just gone. What's like a notch below a star? Bo Bichette. I think Bo Bichette and Sandy and Hader, I guess you could say, are stars. I don't have any scrubs, but I don't have a ton of stars. And I'm not doing that great for cash, so I don't think Fantasy Pros would be projecting me to win this league or whatever projection service people look at the end of auctions and stuff. Love Tyler O'Neill. Is he a fit? Definitely have a good batting average. I think I'd just want to save a bit more cash. And I know he's going to go for a price that I don't mind. I think O'Neill and Suzuki are a coin flip to me, and I paid 20 for Suzuki, and here O'Neill goes for 18, but you never know what's going to happen. Suzuki probably safer than O'Neill. What's Waxman doing here? All right. I used the max bid tool and got Luis Severino. That was fun. At $15 on Severino. Someone asked me in the chat, who's my pick to go for a hitter and a pitcher who are not top 30 to be top 10 next year. And I said Corbin Carroll and Luis Severino. I assumed he meant top 10 among pitchers and top 10 among hitters. And then I ended up with both those guys. Jimenez for 21. That sounds about right. I think I like Jimenez more than Tommy Edman this year. They go basically in the same spot. And so based on the amount of money I've got left, I'm going to go cheap at third base. I know which guys I like there. I'm going to be very comfortable with that. I like Gunnar Henderson. I like Alex Bregman more, definitively more, I would say, but I just don't have the money to be going double digits at third base right now. The more I looked into Camilo Duvall the other day, the more I think he, like if you're if you're okay taking Ryan Helsley as a closer one, I think you should be okay taking Duvall as a closer one too. And I know we were all kind of tiptoeing around it when Kenley was still a free agent, but I think I'm very, very fine with Camilo Duvall being the closer one. But obviously, I didn't need him with Holmes and Hader. For anyone who is just stopping by, I am picking, or I'm in the third nomination slot, so I'm the team with the two Contrerases. You never know. I mean, in an auction when you've got so that guy wanted Austin Meadows, obviously. Got him for 3. Do you get Austin Meadows cheaper if you nominate him in 20 minutes? Or do you have to pay more because somebody else he's like their last option? That's definitely one of the big challenges with auctions is like when to nominate someone you really want who's going to go for less than $5 because you do want to get them for 2. You don't want to get them for 4. So one of the so $20 for Tim Anderson. I mean, Swanson should go for more than Tim Anderson, you'd think, but all right, trying out the max bid again. Got him. Got Lars Nootbaar for 7. All right, so I got Seiya Suzuki, Corbin Carroll, Lars Nootbaar in the outfield. Dream scenario. What could go wrong? Nasty Nestor. He fits pretty well with what I'm trying to do. Might have to just hold back a little bit. I still need, I mean, there's still, I need all 3 of my corner guys. I need my second baseman and my middle. I don't mind going super cheap with the last 2 outfield spots, but then I also need the 5 pitcher spots. So, man, that set max bid tool, that's an elite tool. Need NFBC to host the RotoWire Stake League auction. I really wanted JD Martinez and Lars Nootbaar, and if you told me I spent 12 on one and 7 on one, I would have thought it was flipped. But there you go. So Jake McCarthy is the highest ranked player left by auction dollars, and he's the 91st in terms of average auction value. And I think in snake drafts, his ADP's in the 120s or something. So that's interesting that McCarthy is in more demand in auctions than in snakes. I will not be buying Jake McCarthy. Starting to hear a decent amount of Chris Sale buzz out there. Not because he's done anything, but because people are starting to think about high stakes contests and league winners and looking at Chris Sale's per inning projections, and so he's gonna, if he can just kind of be healthy in spring training, his ADP is just gonna keep climbing. I'm probably gonna sit that out. One guy who's left that would be a really nice fit for me is Robbie Ray, because Robbie Ray, and another guy maybe is Charlie Morton. I like Ray and Morton because they can get you, they could realistically finish top 15 in the majors in Ks, but they don't get drafted top 15, obviously. But you can, if you've got 2 good closers like I do, or like hope I do. And Josh Hader and Clay Holmes. And you've got Sandy's a good ratios guy. You can kind of handle having Morton or Ray. If maybe the ERA isn't amazing, just for the quantity of strikeouts. And at least in Morton's case, the team context is good. I love Nick Lodolo, and I love like Trevor Rogers at ADP. But I think once you take Sandy Alcantara and use that investment on a pitcher who could win single-digit games, you can't really. I don't think you can take another pitcher on a team that bad as like one of your top 4 or 5 starting pitchers, because it's too dangerous. I think from a win standpoint. So I would bet that the next 2 to 3 starting pitchers I buy are on teams that'll go at least 500 or better. Ha-Sung Kim for 4. That's kind of a classic example of what I was talking about with, when do you throw out Ha-Sung Kim if he's someone you want? So here we got Robbie Ray. Kershaw went for 14. Nestor went for 13. Yeah, I think I'm already out on Ray at 15, but if he'd gone kind of more like 12 or something, yeah, that Nestor at 13 is looking pretty good. I like that. Nobody wants to nominate Jake McCarthy. Oh, there he is. All right. I'd have been scared to throw him at 11. I mean, I'll take Lars Nootbaar over Jake McCarthy 10 times out of 10. Hated that ballpark change for Bogaerts. It's so funny the way this works in an auction where the players that haven't been nominated yet are all the super boring guys for the most part. Just the guys that nobody wants. Someone will want Chris Bryant, not me, but someone will. Man. So pretty soon here, I'm going to just have to start loading up my queue with players I actually want. I think the next time it comes around to me to nominate, I'm probably gonna throw one of my favorite first basemen just to sort of see if I got him or not. Hoskins is such a classic example of the ADP from earlier in the season just being really sticky, and like I just don't know what I don't really know the case for Hoskins over like Rowdy Tellez, but because Hoskins was getting drafted 60 spots ahead of Tellez in the first 15 to 20 drafts, that's just kind of stabilized, and that's sort of where they go now. But don't really see the case for that. Yelich is so fascinating. He went for 12. I was talking about him recently on a podcast, and his hard hit data is still really good, and his uh, swing decisions are really good, and he just hits everything on the ground. So it he could benefit. In theory, you'd say, oh, like maybe he benefits from the shift, but he wasn't even really getting shifted because of how often he hits it on the ground. Like I think he was getting shifted 30% of the time last year. So he's fine. Like Yelich is fine with just exactly what he's been the last couple of years. That's useful in fantasy. You're going to get a bunch of runs, playing time because of the contract. He's going to run on the bases because he wants to feel like he's contributing somewhere. But if for Yelich to be anything more than just the player he was last year, he's just going to have to change his launch angle. See, like Luzardo, he's extremely talented, but I don't want to have two of my first three starting pitchers be on a team that's going to lose as many games as the Marlins. Leclerc is, he's probably the Rangers closer, but you just don't. He's one of those guys. The beauty of the auction is you don't have to get stuck with a guy like Leclerc. I would probably if I just bought one of Hader or Holmes, I would have just gone. I would have taken some specs super late on a second closer and tried to hit on one of those rather than play the Leclerc kind of range of closer. Saw a report on Anthony Rizzo where it just said he's gonna manage his ongoing back issues this season. So, always great when a player is letting you know in March or in February that he'll be managing his back issue all season. So Crone goes for 10. Rizzo goes for 6. Does that mean Christian Walker and Rowdy Tellez are going to go in the 6 to 10 range, or does that just mean people really want Walker and Tellez and they'll actually go for more than Rizzo and Crone? We'll see. Rojas, I just sometimes we talk about stolen bases and just how tricky it is to kind of project those. I look at Rojas's 20 steals or whatever he had last year, and it just doesn't seem that repeatable. And if you're not getting, I mean, it's repeatable, but it doesn't seem like something we should expect him to repeat, especially if he's moving into a util role, which is basically a given. And if you don't get, I mean, he might play in 130 games and steal 10 bases, and then what do you have? Not much. Oh man, it's classic. So that was another instance of me trying to auto bid Walker there, and I typed in a $10 auto bid on Walker, and by the time I typed it in, the bid was already up to 11. And now I auto bidded Rowdy Tellez, and I got him for 10. All right, so that's fine. I was hoping that he might go for single digits, but yeah, I'm doing all right. I think I need whoever I get at second base, whoever I get at middle, probably at least one of my next outfielders. I'd like them to be kind of double-digit steal guys, or at least sort of 8 to 12 steal guys. But I think my other counting stats are in pretty good shape right now. Mountcastle is someone that I was just not drafting for basically his entire big league career. And then you look under the hood after last year, and he was really a better hitter than he had been in any previous season. But because of the park dimensions, because of moving the fences back, it kind of looked like he was just sort of the same guy. So that's kind of a bummer. Never pay up for a Reds reliever. motto of mine. I'm just kidding. I don't know. So for starting pitching, I've got Sandy and Severino. I think I would like two of Rasmussen, Charlie Morton, Joe Ryan, Jeffrey Springs, and Luis Garcia. This is the first year that I've kind of fully bought in on Joe Ryan, I think, because I just believe he's won me over with the fastball, even averaging 92 miles an hour with it. He's won me over that it's a monster pitch because of the movement and the flat approach angle, and he's on a team that's going to win. I think Twins are going to be over 500. Of course, no surprise that Kyle Wright is the top listed or the top pitcher available by AAV. He's another guy where he was just getting drafted. He's getting drafted probably 3-4 rounds too high in the first 20 drafts of the year, and then his ADP just kind of got sticky. But we got a report from Monday that he had a cortisone injection in his shoulder over the winter, but still, never want your pitcher to be coming off of a off-season cortisone injection in their shoulder. So I don't think I would touch Wright in top, I don't know, 175, maybe even 200. You look at Joe Ryan and the Tampa Bay guys, Rasmussen and Jeffrey Springs. That's like a good example of the opposite. Like they were getting underdrafted early in draft season, and now everyone kind of knows that they're better than where their ADP is, but their ADP hasn't moved all the way up to where it should because everyone is just kind of playing the ADP game with them in these January and February drafts. But come closer we get to opening day, the more people are gonna say screw ADP. Taking the best starting pitcher available, even if their ADP says I can wait another couple rounds. But we're not there yet. Andrew Vaughn and Jose Miranda are pretty similar to me because I have a lot of faith in their long term projections. Like I think when they're in their age 26, age 27, I think those guys will be uh, hitting 25 homers a season. But with Vaughn and Miranda, they're kind of getting drafted as if it's sort of a given that they're already going to be 25 homer guys. And they could definitely do that this year. But for both Vaughn and Miranda, the positions they're eligible at, where they're getting drafted, you got to be more bankable power, I think, than what you're getting with those guys. All right, I tried to go 9 on Joe Ryan, got outbid, and I will sit this out. We've got one team with $11 left, and they're the low. And then we've got a team with $71 left, and they're the high, and I'm at 30. So this is the part of the auction where my lack of experience in this format is really gonna potentially cause some problems, because I've got $30 for 11 spots. And I just don't know what I'm going to be able to get. Like, I think I know I'm supposed to be kind of saving $2 increments for the end. Instead of $1, you don't want to be in true dollar days until like your final couple of buys. But the people like Zach who've done 8 of these and have done these in past seasons are going to just have a better handle on how to do that. Can I afford to get Rasmussen, 2 of Rasmussen, Morton, Springs, Garcia here? I don't know. Joe Ryan going for 11 makes me a little iffy on that. For anyone just joining me, I'm the third nomination order there. So I've got the Contreras duo at catcher. And for those who don't know, after these 23 auction rounds, it flips over to a 7-round reserve snake draft. So we'll see what caliber player is remaining then. $13 on Giolito. It's not for me. I mean, even like this is out of my price range at outfield. Harrison Bader. He's going to go for 6 or 7, and just got to hope that Andrew Benintendi or Lane Thomas gets me close to that type of production because I can't afford to play in that. Jordan Walker now. And here's Kyle right now. Gonna go for $9-10. That's just too much. Got a good question from Scott. He wants to know, how many pitchers does the high money guy have? Because he obviously has the hammer on starting pitching. The high money guy has $68 total left, and he's got George Kirby, Robbie Ray, Jordan Montgomery, Scott Barlow, and Joe Ryan. So he needs 4. So he is going the exact opposite of Stars and Scrubs. He's spreading it around. I'm going to throw Drew Rasmussen here and just see what happens. Well, got Rasmussen for 8. That's fine. I mean, maybe I should have gotten 6 on Bassett. The Sandy, Severino, Rasmussen trio of starting pitching. It's I like all those guys, but it's not a strength yet. I got to hit on a couple dirt cheap starting pitchers to kind of bring this rotation together. But if I'm right about Clay Holmes and Josh Hader, that really gives me a nice strikeout and ratio boost over a lot of these other teams. Yeah, that's a sharp Savali nom there. All right, let's see. Yeah, I can't quite go 8 on Morton. I'm just gonna have to hope to get. I mean, I don't need to get one of those, Morton, Springs, Garcia necessarily, but it would make me feel a lot better. Lance McCullers. Whoa. Oh my God. Lance McCullers coming to spring training hurt is just the worst because I wasn't gonna touch him, and now nobody will touch him. there are people that we're going to be drafting Lance McCullers as like a top 200 pick probably. Yeah, now, I got Rasmussen for 8, but then Morton goes for 9, Springs goes for 9, so that Rasmussen one looks better. Probably take him. I don't know. Him versus Morton's close. One guy a couple guys I've really got my eye on are the top 2 middle infielders available according to ADP. Jorge Polanco and Javier Baez. Polanco is the cream of the crop at second base to me right now. You've got like Brandon Lau and Jonathan India there too, but I trust Polanco a lot more. He's more well-rounded, I think, than those guys. But I probably can't afford him if any of these guys with the hammer have any interest in him. Oh, we got a Jason Hayward nomination. So that's like a classic. I know I can get this guy for $1, so I'm going to throw him. All right, I got outbid on Javi Baez. All right, set my max bid on Jorge Polanco and got him for 7. Wow. Hell yeah. That's huge. That's big time. All right, so now I've got about $2 left per roster spot. And we've got 4 pitcher spots, 2 outfield spots, third base, and then corner middle, which is totally fine. Third base is my favorite late position to go cheap on, contrary to what I know some people might say. But I like I like Yandy Diaz. I like Yon Moncada. I like Isaac Paredes. And they're all different levels of cheap. So that'll be, I can get a third baseman for a buck or two that I'm fine with. Do I have enough money to get Josh Naylor as my corner? That would be nice. What about middle? Middle, I might be looking at like a Gene Segura, Bryson Stott, roll the dice on Christopher Morel or Oswald Peraza. Actually, Oswald Peraza would be a pretty good fit here. See, I mean, this is where the fun kind of comes in. Like, can you get as many of your cheap targets as you want, or are multiple people in the room thinking the same thing? Like Brady Singer is another example. Like I like Brady Singer's skills, and he's a very good example of a 3 or a 2-pitch pitcher, essentially really making it work. And you love the home park, but he's going to be getting some of the worst catcher framing. I mean, I know he got bad catcher framing last year, but he's going to get some of the worst catcher framing in baseball again this year, and he's going to get bottom 5 run support probably. So there's room for, I think there's room for one of the guys from like the Royals, Marlins, A's, whatever, Tigers. But you don't want to leave a draft with multiple pitchers from those terrible teams, because you're just going to be struggling in wins. And it's very hard to make up ground in wins if you dig yourself any kind of a hole. It's just so hard to play catch up there. Because then you start making, if you're consciously chasing wins, you're going to just start making bad lineup decisions on Monday. You want your pitchers who you're sort of setting it and forgetting it with to be your main, the guys you're leaning on for your wins. That's a pretty good price on Renfroe for 7. Debatable whether I should have gone 12 on JD Martinez, but I was having a lot of fun with that max bid feature. And well, maybe it's not debatable. I probably shouldn't have gone 12 on JD. That Lars Nootbaar for 7, though, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Brutal. Did want Benintendi, but that's already not happening. My default on the Phillies bullpen and the Royals bullpen is just I am kind of assuming it's the old washed up guys that are going to get the saves there, because I just can't understand why you would bring in Craig Kimbrell or Aroldis Chapman to pitch the seventh inning for you, because that just doesn't make any sense. They're um, they're closers, and that's sort of what they do. This Mariners bullpen is just so frustrating because it's not even just the big league level. They've got they've got pitchers up and down the organization that profile as awesome ninth inning arms, and there's only room for one person to be getting regular saves. I think that's Munoz long term, but Paul Sewald is awesome too, and it sounds like he's entering camp without restrictions. All right, here's my run at Naylor. We'll see what happens. Didn't want to go 6 on Naylor. That's a shame. So lost Naylor for 5. But that's good information, because now I know we'll be going just dirt cheap at that corner spot. So I can reallocate that money to pitching. Someone in the chat said that I'm cleaning up, not the podcast chat, the draft chat. And I don't know about that. I like all the players on my roster, but I need 9 more players, and I have $15. So we'll see. Scott said in the podcast chat, but Aroldis Chapman is so bad. It's like, yeah, he is. I don't know why'd they bring him in. They can't think he's, they wouldn't bring him in being like, well, we know this guy's bad and he's going to just pitch in the 7th inning for us, right? Like they obviously think he's not bad because they chose to bring him in. Would have been willing to break my own rule there for Rodgers if I could have gotten him for 2, but that's not happening. So I'm probably realistically, I mean, Luis Garcia, Astros, Garcia is still there, but if we're just going to look at this realistically, I'm probably hoping for, an Alex Cobb, Sonny Gray type of guy as my SP4 at this point. All right, got Oswald Peraza for 2. That's huge. Fill my middle spot, but more importantly, I need that speed. And yeah, that's great. So now I just need a third base, corner, 2 outfielders, 4 pitchers. Again, I'm the third team, the team with the 2 Contreras catchers. Auctions are great. That's the main takeaway here is that auctions are great. You feel different types of pressure when you kind of get down to this area of the auction. But it's just so much fun to not have to worry about being caught out of a run. And like with a guy like Oswald Peraza, I haven't gotten him. I don't think I've gotten him in a single snake draft yet because I'm not taking him where I think he should go, at least in the drafts I was doing in like December, because I'm trying to get him at the best value I can. I'm still trying to feel out sort of where I need to take him. But in an auction, you just get that guy because nothing's stopping you. All right, so we got a quick break here. I want to look at some of these other teams I'm going up against. All right, so Team 1 has $5 left, and they have 2 pitcher spots, 1 catcher spot. We got Team 5 with 38 left. Team 12 with 37 left. I'm at 13. So I need to start filling up my queue. Kind of hoping to go like Moncada, Paredes at third and corner. Yandy would be fine there too. There's even some lower options that if it worst comes to worst, if I go into the year with JD Davis or Joey Votto, not the end of the world, but hope to do a little bit better than that. Then the 2 outfield spots. I mean, could maybe get I want Jorge Soler, and there's some options. You got Lane Thomas, Conforto, Mancini, Gavin Lux, Oscar Gonzalez, Chris Taylor. Oh, the guy Manuel Margot. No, I got to do that. Yes, if I can get Jorge Soler and Margot, we'd be off to the races. But there's no way that the pitching's not going to look a little gnarly at the end here. I can't imagine the room letting me get the exact pitchers I want. Now, we do have an interesting scenario developing here with Hunter Brown because, I think safe to say Lance McCullers won't be in the rotation. Just a bummer that injury happened this early in the spring. But Hunter Brown, I mean, you could argue, we still got like Pablo Lopez, Luis Garcia, those types still hanging out there, but I would take Hunter Brown over. I would take Hunter Brown over Jack Flaherty, Patrick Sandoval, probably John Gray-ish, maybe. I mean, I'll probably end up getting a third reliever. Almost more so just because of the caliber of pitcher I'll be able to afford. Like even Aaron Ashby, who I love, he's hoping to return in mid-May. That's pretty much a cross off. Surprised Garcia didn't go for more than 5 there. Jonathan India goes for 9. Yeah, and Scott in the comments just asked a question I was just debating in my head. Am I going to nominate these guys I want for 2 instead of 1? The nice thing is I can, the software lets me nominate a guy and set his max bid. So I can throw, when it's my turn, I could throw Moncada for 1. There's a box where I put the 1 that I'm throwing him for, and then I put the 2 as my max bid. And then if someone tries to bid on the 1, it goes to 2, and I still have them for 2. So you really you're in a position of power when you're the person nominating. In a normal auction, without that technology, I think I would start throwing some of these guys for 2 that I want. Part of the problem is, we've got a guy with 30, someone's got 32, someone's got 26, 23. So $2 bid isn't stopping those guys if they want the guy. But there's enough players still out there in the pool that I like that I can just, if I can just go 50% on the targets from here on out, I'll be okay. I mean, you don't want to be the guy that has to leave the draft with Trevor May. Alex Verdugo going for, or no, Ellie De La Cruz getting thrown for 1 really threw me. Just don't really see that. Don't see that paying off, but you never know. He's super talented. Just don't think he's ready. I do got to be quick on the trigger, though. Like, if somebody else throws a guy I want for 1, it's important to be the person who gets that $2 bid in. Who do we think's closing in Chicago without Hendricks? I know who I think it is, and it's not this guy, unless there's been some news or something that. No. Yeah, I think it's Reynaldo Lopez. At least that's who I'd throw a dart at. So Paul Sewell got thrown for $1. I tried to go 2, but it already had jumped up to 3. So I did the trick I was talking about. And I got Moncada for 2, and then someone goes 3. But I threw Moncada for 1. Someone tried to bid 2, but I had the backup in to go 2. So I still had him. I had him at 1. I had him at 2. And then someone came in and got him for 3, which is fine. It's definitely the stage of things where I'm throwing guys I want to find out whether I get them or not, and then I can move on to the next guy. Because I'm going to have a better chance of getting these guys as the nominator than as a bidder after someone else throws them. Yeah, I could have gone 2. I probably would have gone 2 on Casas there, but he's already up to 3. Sonny Gray goes for 4. He was someone that I would have happily taken for 2. Wanted Malley there. Maybe should have gone 4. But all these guys I want are going for 4, 3 to 4. So it's not quite the time of the auction where they're going for my prices. I don't love that Jesse Winker's going for 6 because what does that mean Jorge Soler is going to go for? Jared Kelenic getting bid on. After being out on Kelenic every year of his big league career, I think I'm okay with that $1 or 2. this year. He could do, you could go 235 with 20 plus homers and double-digit steals. So the price has finally gotten low enough where I'm not out on Kelenic anymore. Flaherty's getting bid on right now. This is definitely a prove it to me. Like, if he wants to come back and be good and healthy, I'll let him do it on someone else's team and then reevaluate. Okay, so I'm going to be up to nominate next, and we're going to go on a fact-finding mission with Yandy Diaz. All right. Got Yandy for $1. Oh, he's so nobody wants Yandy. That's fine. That money, I would have gotten 2 on Yandy, and there's an extra $1 I can hopefully use on Soler. Nolan Gorman for 1, Jorge Mateo for 3. All right, I just bid $2 on Oscar Gonzalez, and I got him. Okay, so need 1 outfielder, 1 corner, and 4 pitchers. Gonzalez wasn't really my first choice. Well, no, that's fine. I might need Soler or Margot's stats a little bit more, but Gonzalez is a better hitter, I think. And he's got more kind of breakout potential. I honestly might be a little light on speed. Let's try to add up the steals here. Let's say we'll call it 10 from Polanco. I'll say 25 from Bichette. I'll say 20 from Peraza. So now we're at 55. I'll say 10 from Suzuki, 65. Say 30 from Carroll, 95, 8 from Newt Bar, 103. So, and maybe we get a couple more steals from one of the non-speed guys. So we'll say 105. 105 with one outfielder to add. So, man, that's tough because I do need another 10 bags, but I probably need another 20 plus homer bat. Hope to get that at corner, but there's no, unless I maybe Seth Brown could get me 20 and 10. Then I'd have to take Seth Brown. Could roll the dice on Christopher Morel getting me more than 20 and 10. Eric Lauer, the perfect throw at 1, max bid at 2. None of these guys are going 3 on Eric Lauer. Come on. So I got Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer SP4. That's what we're dealing with here. 15-team auction. But I probably have the best closers. And now Seth Brown's going for 5. Maybe someone else added up their homers and steals. Saw a very disturbing speculation from, I think it was Shadav Sharma of The Athletic, saying that Christopher Morel might benefit from more time in the minors was what he opined, and I really hope that's just his opinion and not something reported. Shoot. I looked away for a second and I missed out on Alex Cobb. Brutal. Wow. Someone didn't manage their money. So this guy just had $15 to fill one spot, and they bid 15 on Miguel Vargas. All right. Man, that looking away and missing on Cobb. Not cool. I kind of think I need Solaire's power more than Margot's speed. Grandal is so challenging because I really think there's a I don't know, 40 to 50% chance he bounces right back to normal Grandal. But then if you're wrong and he doesn't, then he's done damage to your team and you're looking for a new catcher. So it's a challenge. All right, got Soler for $1. Filled the outfield, so just need a corner, 3 pitchers. Man, Lux is so tricky to figure out. I know they want him to run more. How many homers is he going to hit? I think I probably left a couple bucks on the table here because I don't really see how I spend all 7 of this on these last 4 spots, really. maybe Hunter Brown goes for like 3. All right, gonna try to get Paredes here to fill that corner spot. But I'll probably get him for $1, and then got Paredes for $1. So now I have a max bid of 4 and 3 spots, 3 pitching spots to fill. Why isn't there more interest in Hunter Brown? I don't get it. All right, I just bid $2 on Aroldis Chapman. Embarrassing. Should end the stream right now so that nobody sees this. And then with Chapman, if he's bad or just not the closer, then I just drop him. And if he's the closer, then great. And I've got someone's complaining in the draft chat about the auto bid feature. I like it. I don't know. It's if you can't top the bid, you can't top the bid. It's the same rules for everyone. If you want to take advantage of it, you nominate a guy and set the max bid, and there you can take advantage of it too. All right, so I got Hunter Brown for 3, 1 pitcher spot to fill. Probably looking at a Zach Eflin or Kyle Bradish type of guy. Or do I nom Andrew Painter and just see what happens? Yeah, if I go Hunter Brown, Andrew Painter, that's not a bad way to give myself upside, considering Eric Lauer's my SP4. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do. Oh no! There goes Painter. Just as I had talked myself into him being the guy. Oh well. Zach Eflin or Kyle Bradish? I think we'll do Eflin for the team wins. All right, so we're kind of winding down here. Up over 3 hours. My team is complete. I think I'll end the broadcast here. I'm gonna have like a 10-minute break before the reserves, anyways. So, everyone who stopped by and hung out, had a lot of fun. I think my main takeaways are I really like the NFBC auction room. There's definitely some features you can take advantage of if you know what you're doing. The set max bid feature I think is great, but you got to be you should come in and sort of be prepared for that feature, and take advantage of it and use it to your benefit if you can. I definitely need to participate in one of these in Vegas or New York someday. It's going to be a main event year in Vegas for me this time, but maybe in a couple of years I can do one of these live in Vegas. But this was a lot of fun, and at the very least, I think I will be doing a few more of these next off season, and I would definitely recommend anyone who hasn't tried one of these. If you're thinking about doing just another old draft champions or something and you want to spice it up, definitely recommend this, and you'll be able to get your guys. You might make some mistakes along the way, and you might finish your draft with Eric Lauer, Aldis Chapman, Hunter Brown, and Zach Eflin as your last 4 pitchers. But I mean, I got both Contrerases, which I don't know if I mean that's tough to pull off in a snake draft. Got my first Oswald Peraza, which is something I haven't been able to do in a snake draft, and got my 2 closers. So you're not going to get everything in a 15-team league, whether it's an auction or a snake draft. But I like the way it turned out. So I am going to sign off, and I'll be doing a podcast tomorrow with Lucas Beery talking about draft and hold strategy and some targets. We'll give some of our top player shares guys who are going outside the top 300. So keep an eye out for that Wednesday afternoon, February 22nd. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys later.